I'm Muffin, and I'm half-ass ready. Well, we've been talking about me a lot, so let's talk about us some. Prepping 101, nuts and bolts. This is what we do, not why we do it. This is what we do. I'm not going to tell you I'm the best. I'm not the most prepared. May not be even the smartest guy you know talking about this stuff. But I've been doing it for a minute, and I know the problems that I've run into. We're going to talk about that. But first of all, I want to talk about the rule of threes. Okay, you'll hear about the rule of threes in a lot of different survival manuals you'll read. Military trains on the rule of threes, but rule of threes is pretty basic. Okay, but this rule of threes thing is something you should use when you're in any survival situation or even in your prepper situation. So it starts with air, okay? Oxygen, what you breathe, right? You can go 3 minutes without air. Shelter. You can go 3 hours without shelter. I'm going to get some kickback on that. We'll talk about it a little later. I gave kickback myself when I heard this, but we'll talk about it some more, okay? Water, you can go 3 days. 3 days without water, okay? Food, you can go 3 weeks without food, okay? Not going to be fun, but you can live. Your body will survive 3 weeks without food. Let's talk about the shelter thing. The reason I gave feedback. Look, we've all stood outside and watched a football game. We've all stood outside fishing, hunting, whatever, for more than 3 hours. Okay? And we didn't die. Right. But look, what this 3 hours is referring to, every time we've stood outside, we've had a place we could get in the shade if it was hot. A place we could get under something if it was raining. A car we could go to and warm our hands up if it was cold. We had gloves, whatever. 3 hours without shelter makes sense if you were in the Mojave Desert and you didn't have any water. You better find some shade. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, I gave kickback. I'm going to get some kickback on that. I'm fine with that. It makes sense when you sit down and think about it. But this gives you an idea of how long you can do without anything, okay? So, we're going to talk about what you have at your place, okay? So, first of all, make a plan, okay? But you need to go look and see what you have now. What do you have right now? What's in your pantry right now? And look, this is something you should do. If you're new to prepping or you're just curious about preppers, go look in your cabinet and see what you have right now. And write it down. Write down what you have. Because if the shit hit the fan, SHTF, you'll hear us preppers refer to that all the time. When the shit hits the fan, that's what you got. Okay? And believe me, believe me, you're going to be woefully unprepared. You're going to think, oh shit, is what you're going to think, right? Don't panic, okay? Don't panic. If the shit hadn't already hit the fan, don't panic. Make a plan. Make a plan. Make a plan. Go on the internet. Look at guys like me. There's some guys who are super freaking prepared out there, man. They have got these fucking crazy setups, man. They're ready, right? You saying I'm there, but they're ready. So make a plan. So Well, where do you want to start with that plan, right? Start with 30 days, man. Again, 3 days is not enough. FEMA's going to tell you 3 days. Red Cross is going to tell you 3 days. 3 days is not enough, okay? So start with a 30-day plan, right? It gives you a month to wait on help. Hey, and again, if it's not the end of the world scenario, help is probably coming, right? May not be the people you think it is, may not, but help's probably coming, okay? The folks in Syria and Turkey right now, they're weeks away from getting out of a tent, you know, into some permanent shelter. Weeks away. So, start with a 30-day plan. How many people? How many pets? Right? People, pets. How many? Because what you see on everything, all the plans, it says it's a 72-hour food kit. That's 72 hours for one person, okay? If you have 4 people, you need 4 food kits for 72 hours. 72 hours is not enough. 72 hours per person per kit, right? So, 30 days. How many people? Don't forget about your pets, folks, man. I love a pit bull. I'm going to tell you straight up. Everybody knows me, knows I love my pit bull. I keep food for my pit bull, too. As we go on, from 30 days, and you get that put in your pantry, you're going to need to start keeping some records, because this stuff will get out of hand on you pretty quick. I figured this out the hard way. And get a legal pad. Now I've gone to 3-ring binders, and I write and Sharpies. Get yourself some Sharpies, because you want to. I realize the dates are on all the cans, food and bags of food, but if I don't have my glasses on, can't see that little writing. Just Sharpie. Write the expiration date on top of that can. Simply rotate it to the front. Eat it first, right? Eat the oldest first. Then you got stuff that'll keep, right? So, when you get what you feel like's 30 days, right? Well, expand that plan out to where you think you need to be. Personally, I want to be where I can eat out of my pantry. Air, shelter, water, food for a year. And then we're going to get in, this is much later on, we're going to talk about sustainable prepping, which is where everybody needs to be if you're really a prepper. But you're going to need a year in order to get crops in the ground, whatever you need to do to be sustainable year after year, right? So, but I want to get to a year. I'm not there. I don't think I'm there. I mean, I think a good prepper probably never thinks he's there. And there's always things that you're adding to for creature comforts. And we'll talk about creature comforts in a future episode too. Those are going to be important. In fact, today I just went to Walmart and I bought, went down in the toy aisle and bought a couple of puzzles. Really complicated puzzles too, the hardest ones I could find. You know, it may be a rainy day like today is here. You can't really go do the work you need to do outside. You're going to need something, do a puzzle with the folks that are near you. With your tribe, do something that you enjoy and bring a smile to everybody for once, you know. When the shit hits the fan, it's going to be hard, and we'll talk about that later on too. It's funny. It ain't like we talk about it all the time, but my family and I, we talk about it a lot. And we talk about how hard it's going to be and to live like that. And it is going to be hard because of the way we live now. But make sure you're keeping records of what you have. Again, I've gone off on a tangent. Y'all know I do that. Keep records of what you have. Keep it in a place where you can get to it. I think next episode we're going to talk about water instead of food. We're going to talk about food. Food's a big deal, and we're going to talk about food. And again, later on, I want to get into how to preserve food. That is a huge thing in the prepper community. There are tons of different ways to do it. Lots of people have different ideas about it, and I'd like to talk to them and then talk to you about what I have found out. But anyway, said I was going to try to stay at 10 minutes. I think I've gone a little over. Maybe I can edit some out. I don't know. But again, don't panic, okay? Even if the shit hits the fan and you've never seen this video, don't panic. Panic's the little mind killer, man. Panic is what forces you to make bad decisions and gets you and your family in trouble. So, but I think I'm going to try to end right there. Appreciate y'all watching my videos and appreciate your comments. Some of them have been very helpful. So, again, this is Muffin. Tell those you love that you love them. And let's get full ass ready. Thank you.